And hello, everybody. Good morning. It is the day after Easter, so they call it Easter Monday. This is Chris from the Stewart Buzz. I got a couple things little pet peeves that I'm going to bring up today for some strange reason. They came across, I guess, my news feed's mind over the weekend. Apparently now that scientists do not believe that Jesus died on the cross. So apparently they think he just fainted. And then they put him in this tomb with this big ass boulder in front of the tomb, which they said cannot be moved without machinery. So they were baffled as to how it moved, but not so baffled because listen to this. So the scientists now claim Jesus may not have died on the cross, but fainted. And the rock was moved by an earthquake. So two earthquakes happened. One when Jesus was put on the cross, and then after when Jesus passed. Great coincidence, right? Thinking not. But anyway, so he fainted. They put him in this tomb. He came to, and then an earthquake came and moved the rock out of the way, because scientists say that the rock cannot be moved without some sort of earthquake or something. I do have one question regarding that. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of flack from this. I wear Jesus around my neck. I'm a Jesus dude all the way, every way, without a doubt. First, why are we trying to rewrite history? Secondly, if the boulder cannot be moved unless it had machinery or an earthquake, how was it moved to begin with? To put it there, if you understand what I'm saying. These are the questions that go through my mind. This is why I'm bald. No, I'm only kidding. But seriously, if you can comment below on that one, because that is a valid question, right? And so the scientists say that the boulder was moved due to an earthquake because it is just way too heavy for any man or anything to move it. It would need heavy-duty machinery. Not so sure they had heavy-duty machinery back in the day, but they could have had a John Deere somewhere around. I'm not saying they didn't. I'm not saying they did. I'm just telling you right now that's what's going on. That's what I heard so far, and that came out on Easter, I believe. The other thing that bothered me is I was watching Mark Levin, for you right-wing people that you probably know him, left-wing people you probably hate him. But I was listening to him, and he was saying how Iran should not have nuclear weapons, and they should we need to do something right away because they're about to be able to create a nuclear weapon. Well, the United States says that we cannot let them have a nuclear weapon and that we will destroy any nuclear weapon program that they have, or at least dismantle it. Here's my question. What about Hiroshima, Nagasaki? In August? I think it was August 6th and August 9th. I think it is August 6th and August 9th. Yes, 1945. When we dropped a nuclear bomb, instantly killing 80,000 people in Hiroshima. 80,000, eventually 200,000 people. We were the ones that dropped the bomb, but yet we're allowed to have it. And North Korea is allowed to have it. Russia is allowed to have it. Iran is not allowed to have it because they think that the Iranian people are bad. Mind you, I'm not thinking that they're good. They have no use for us. They don't want us alive, nothing. But you know what? Either does North Korea. And as far as I heard, either does Russia. So I'm kind of curious while we're zoned in on this one thing. If we're going to remove all of them, why don't we just get rid of the nuclear weapons and throw them away? Because on August 9th, we instantly killed 80,000 people. So you got 280,000 people that we killed with nuclear bombs in 1945. That sucks. But now we have nuclear weapons, but we'll never use them, right? But we did. We did. It's in history. It's in the books. It's on Google. Got to be true. Just kidding. But all those people, like, instantly died. And then the aftermath of them dying. So why is it okay that we have nuclear weapons? Why are we the police of the world when we cannot be the police of the United States of America? Mind you, I am an advocate for the current president. I just don't understand. It sounds kind of hypocritical on this particular situation here. It sounds hypocritical that we're telling somebody you can't have something, yet we have tons of it. It's like your mom saying you cannot eat bad food and she has it for breakfast. You know, it's not fair. I know the analogy is off due to the people passing due to these nuclear weapons, and I'm not trying to make light of it, but I mean, seriously right now, why is it that America has to always get involved and even try to help people that hate us, or go into a war and try to help these people when they don't even want us there? Afghanistan. So if we're allowed to have nuclear weapons, if Russia is allowed to have nuclear weapons, North Korea allowed to have nuclear weapons, why is Iran not allowed to have nuclear weapons? I heard, according to Mark Levin, and you know, he's been quite irate lately. He needs to take a nap. But, and listen, I listened to Mark Levin years ago. There's an AM radio station in New York, along with the Savage Nation, along with those guys. I listened to all that. But I just don't necessarily agree with this topic, so I figured I would go on the air and talk about it and get people's feedback about this. Did we learn our lesson? Gee, it wasn't a good idea to use nuclear weapons after killing all those people? Yeah, it stopped a war, but it killed 280,000 people to stop a war. So I think there would be a better way to do that. I just don't understand so we learned our lesson. So that answers one question as to why they cannot have nuclear weapons, but it does not understand why North Korea and Russia can have nuclear weapons and other countries that have nuclear weapons. So I would love somebody to comment and try to explain the hypocrisy here, that we are telling the Iranians, you're not allowed to have nuclear weapons. Why is it right? There's got to be a reason. Anyway, we're going to have a conversation about this a little bit later. So just, we'll be back in a little while. Bye. And hello, everybody. This is Chris from the Stewart Buzz. We're here with, I'm sorry, what's your name, ma'am?
Virginia.
Okay, Virginia. We have some questions because I was talking earlier regarding things that I heard over the weekend regarding both Jesus and nuclear weapons. So, yeah, we'll take one at a time. Apparently, scientists have learned, or at least have some sort of proof, that Jesus did not die on the cross, that Jesus actually fainted on the cross and then was put inside the tomb, and then he revived, like came out of the faint, and then there was an earthquake and it moved the big stone out of the way, and then he got out. What do you think about that theory? That's a fact. I'm telling you the truth. It's right here. Scientists now claim Jesus may not have died on the cross, but fainted. And the rock was moved by an earthquake. That's how he got it. Yeah, well, no, I want you to fake it. Of course, honestly. Jeez.
I've never heard that one before.
I don't ask. I don't care if you heard about it. What do you think about it?
I don't believe it.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, scientists could come up with things to explain a lot, but for that, no, I don't believe that one.
Okay, so so you don't believe that. Any particular reason why you don't believe that?
No, because I grew up medically inclined, and I would
declined.
Inclined. I grew up with teachers and medical professionals, and I believe.
So you don't think people can faint?
I don't believe that he didn't die from blood loss by the time that they took him off the cross. I think
they nailed
he
his
died.
hand. You wouldn't believe.
He was stabbed in the stomach and not in the heart where they thought they stabbed him.
Were you there? Do you know? Were you there? Were you there?
I went to Catholic school. I knew a lot about the Catholic religion and where exactly he was stabbed.
Jesus was not part of the Catholic religion.
That is how we were.
But you do know that, right? Jesus.
I can't explain what people want to be told. I don't know what people.
But your way is right, their way is wrong. Is that what you're saying?
This is what I was taught.
Okay, so what I was told is that the stone was so big that only an earthquake can move it. You know, the stone that covers the
Yes.
tomb. Okay, that it was so big. Do you believe that?
I wasn't there.
Okay, but hypothetically.
I've never heard of anything like that happening.
Okay, so it was so big that only machinery would be able to move it.
Well, look at Easter Island.
Okay, but let's talk about that. So if he was put inside the tomb, even if he was alive or if he wasn't alive, okay, well, we'll listen and I'll probably go with the original story. But if the stone was big enough that only heavy machinery, like a John Deere kind of thing, could have moved it. I don't think John Deere was in business back then, by the way, just to let you know. How did somebody move it in front of the tomb?
In the first place.
Right. So if an earthquake, because an earthquake happened the day that Jesus was put on the cross, and another earthquake happened when he was put inside the tomb.
That's interesting because that's something I was never taught.
Right. They just hit you in the fingers with rulers.
No, not me.
Right. They were afraid of you.
For good reason.
So, but honestly, if you didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that.
All right. Now, how would they put that huge, massive stone that can only be used by machinery in front of the tomb?
Exactly.
So, you're saying that you don't believe that story?
I don't believe the story that there's earthquakes because, I mean...
What are you trying to say, Virginia?
I didn't know that there was even earthquakes at the time.
Oh,
Nobody even told me
earthquakes didn't exist back then?
No, I didn't occur to me that it could have been an earthquake.
Okay, so how did the stone move?
People.
Okay. Again, the scientists state that the massive rock in front of them that was too big for people to move.
Well, they believed back then that this person that they were putting in the tomb had to be enclosed because he was so, he had to be killed.
Well, I believe that all the tombs were closed at some point. Like that's what happened. That's what you do with a tomb. You don't
because they wanted to keep people from getting evil by going in there and touching them.
Okay. Well, we're going to move on to the next one.
Oh, please do.
And the next thing that I heard. Oh, by the way, do you know why they color Easter eggs?
No.
I heard this on the news.
Has to be something about rebirth.
No, the shape of the egg was the shape of the tomb. So the color of Easter eggs, or whatever it is, apparently was way back in the day, because it was the shape of the tomb was the egg shape of that. I have not verified that, but it was on a news station, so it must be real.
Which one?
Actually, I don't even think they're on news stations. They're opinion stations.
No more 10-10 wins.
10-10 Win still exists.
It does?
It's in New York. It's not here.
Well, Walter Cronkite doesn't.
Right, that's correct. So 10-10 Wins is where I heard the Savage Nation. I heard Mark Levin. Oh, speaking of Mark Levin, let's talk about that dude. He went off the charts over the weekend. Pissed off as can be. Regarding Iran and nuclear weapons.
Who's supplying them?
I know Iran is making nuclear weapons. United States states that we will not allow Iran to make nuclear weapons. Iran is not allowed to have nuclear weapons because we, United States, says so. What do you think about that?
How did they come up with it in the first place?
How they come up with what?
Nuclear weapons.
Stick with the story, woman. Okay.
I don't like anybody having nuclear weapons.
Okay, but we're telling Iran you're not allowed to make nuclear weapons. Why are we not telling Russia you're not allowed to have nuclear weapons? Why are we not telling Israel you're not allowed to have nuclear weapons? Why are we not telling North Korea, why are you not allowed to have nuclear weapons? But we're telling Iran you're not allowed to have nuclear weapons. Mind you, we are the only country in 1945, in August, that killed approximately 280,000 people in Nagasaki and Hiroshima with nuclear weapons. But yet, we're telling people that they can't have them. Why do you think that is?
To be more powerful?
But do you think that we should focus on them not having nuclear weapons, or should we focus on the veterans here in the United States not being homeless and not having a place to live and not eating and getting good health care and stuff like that?
Definitely focus on the veterans and world peace.
Okay, but world peace, what is that? What we're telling North Korea? Nothing, because apparently they have nuclear weapons. Russia has nuclear weapons. Israel has nuclear weapons. Why is it okay for them to have that?
Maybe that's all secure, and the ones that are in Iran is not.
Oh, how are they? What do you mean? They have a master lock on them, and then somebody has a key.
I couldn't tell you.
Well, you're on the podcast to actually talk about that.
It's a possibility.
What's a possibility?
That they're secured and that there's some sort of an agreement, but there's no agreement with the other country. Is that possible?
You're trying to tell me there's an agreement with North Korea? You know anything about North Korea?
I'm just throwing it out there.
Seeing what sticks on the wall, like pasta.
Right.
Right. Okay, so let's get back to this coloring of the Easter eggs. Instead of Easter eggs, they were potatoes. Did you try that?
Not yet. I wanted to do it on the podcast.
Okay, yeah, that's not happening. So
I think it would be great content.
Coloring potatoes?
Yes.
You think that's great content?
Yes.
And it's the reason you don't have a podcast, I guess.
I have 500 fans.
500.
I have 500 fans
you have
on Bigo. Bigo.
Listen, there's the camera, by the way. So,
I have 500 fans on Bigo.
first of all,
Bigo.
Bigo. Is that a song?
The song is bingo.
Oh.
You take the N out and you have Bigo.
Yeah, and if you change the letters around, you have my father's first name, which is Vigo. Okay. You have 500 fans because there's only 500 people in it.
No.
You probably need...
There's millions of them.
And you got 500.
I have 500.
Out of that 500, how many do you know?
Probably none.
My point. They're not your friends. That's why they call it fake book.
Maybe they want... No, this isn't fake book. It's,
no, but
it's
I'm
an
saying,
app.
It's the same thing.
Bigo.
It's the same thing. You don't think Facebook is an app?
It's an app.
Right.
I stay connected to my family and friends.
You don't have any friends. That's what I'm just trying to tell you. What is it?
You're mean.
Bigo. You have 500 friends and you don't know any of them. They're fake friends.
1,500 to be exact.
They're fake friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could be.
But they're fake friends. That's why you call it fake book.
I've gotten actually a lot of friends through an entrepreneur kind of business that I wanted to try.
Oh, is this Tupperware
That everybody?
again?
No, don't bring up Tupperware. I don't want to advertise for Tupperware.
Virginia sells Tupperware. Anybody that wants Tupperware, you can call Virginia at 222.
No. 2222.
222222. And leave a message. Because Tupperware, I don't even think it exists anymore, does it?
And they have them in certain stores that I won't bring up because, I'm not advertising for anybody.
I see.
But it does start with a T and ends with a T.
So,
That's 6 letters.
are you trying to figure?
Has 6 letters. Like escargot,
Definitely this chick.
First letter's the T.
She's definitely. Escargot starts with a T?
No, it's like in the middle. It's like escargot.
And this is what we deal with. She's out of her mind. She's.
But you guys love me.
You think everybody loves you?
Well, what's not to love?
I have a list of items. I mean, I can write them down. So yesterday, because she could not stand on her own.
This wasn't yesterday. This was Saturday.
Saturday.
I know where you're going with this.
The entire shelf crashes down.
It's a wicker.
Now, if I go in there, I can guarantee you they're still the way they are. I picked up the stickers, and I bet you that the chick.
And you did a good job too.
And this young lady probably did not fix it at all, but we're going to find out. Let's see.
She's right outside.
Let's give her a call here because she's out of her mind. I am going to connect her with the Bluetooth, and we're going to call her and see if she has actually found the problem in the store. Mm-hmm. So let's stand by here and let's
this
see.
Should be good.
Yeah, this is Chris from the Stewart Buzz. How are you today? Okay, you redneck son of a... so anyway, did you notice that there were the Zodiac bracelets all over the place this morning? Wait. She noticed it, but she didn't notice. And wait, you made absolutely no sense. So you noticed it. Would that be Virginia?
Throw me under that bus. Throw me under that bus.
Remember, the one that.
Yes, I do.
She's the one that did it. And is it all fixed now? And I can guarantee you, if I walk in there right now at this second, it's not fixed.
I'll tell you a secret. I'll tell you the one that's not fixed.
Which one?
The one
red
that,
jasper?
the one that looks like a figure eight.
A figure eight.
It looks like a figure eight in the box.
Well,
Oh, you fixed it.
I don't know. This is wasteful content. So,
Hey.
what? I don't think that should be put on a cross.
I think I would be dead before I fainted.
I think people would faint putting her on a cross.
Yeah. Yeah. That is true.
Oh.
That is true.
Wait, I think you just snorted when you laughed. Yeah, you definitely snorted when you laughed. So I thank you for your input on that, because I didn't think that she would have done it. So I knew that you would not notice it because of the stuff you smoke before you walk into the store.
Ooh.
Oh.
All right, then you have a blessed day.
Love you.
Bye. Toodles, yeah, toodles to you. So, what did you end up doing yesterday?
What did I do yesterday?
Yesterday was Easter.
Oh, I almost passed out in Walmart. I forgot
Another
to
wonderful
eat.
story.
I forgot to eat.
You forgot to eat. So hear me out, everybody. Virginia forgot to eat yesterday.
And I was a little upset at somebody.
And you're always upset with somebody. Always.
Well, I didn't have to go to Walmart, and I was in Walmart.
Okay, why was Walmart open on Easter?
That I don't know.
Did you ask him?
No,
Why?
I didn't ask.
Why?
Just always open on Easter.
Okay. So you then drove downtown to see who was open, because...
No, I didn't come down this way.
No, you did. I saw your car go by.
You didn't see me here. No, I was not. There's other people with the same color.
I don't think so.
I don't
But
remember being here downtown.
I know that
Yeah.
doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Now I have to think about it. Was
Now-
I down here yesterday?
So after you
Nope, I wasn't.
almost fainted in Walmart,
I went to Hope Sound yesterday.
after you live in Hope Sound, after you almost fainted, how does one almost faint, by the way?
I don't know. I was just shaking, and I was like, "What the hell's going on?"
Can you simulate that? I mean, like,
My hands are physically shaking.
they would shake. Okay.
They were shaking.
And did you sit down?
Eventually, yeah.
Where do you sit down at Walmart?
There's a little Philly cheesesteak place, and I had lemonade. I had an ice cream cone first because I knew I needed something to make me colder, because I think it was heat that was making me like that. So I had an ice cream cone that was $1. It's not as good as the other ice cream places in town, but it was all right.
Okay. So almost fainting in Walmart on Easter. That sounds fun. What else did you do?
I went to my house and picked up my daughter's Easter basket and went back to my mother's house, and she got to see her Easter presents from the Easter Bunny because she forgot her Easter basket at home.
Which daughter is this?
The younger one
Oh, and where was the older one?
at work. She actually made dinner,
What did you have? Bologna sandwiches?
lasagna. I was impressed. You know, the Stouffer's one that you take out of the freezer.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Are you serious right now? Like,
Oh, it wasn't about. My daughter wanted to know if I was going to make a ham if she bought it, and I said it's only the three of us. We're not going to eat it, so just get a
it's
lasagna.
not really hard to make a ham. All you have to do is, like, just warm it up. It's already pre-cooked.
Yeah, but you don't have the big family and the big thing, and just get a lasagna. At least it's not McDonald's.
Okay.
I'd rather have lasagna.
So you knew nothing about the stuff that I wanted to cover, and you really didn't have much of an input there. You said that you went to Catholic school, so I thought you would have some sort of knowledge.
Yeah, you believe what they tell you, and I did. And I was a good girl.
And you still do that,
I still believe.
what people tell you.
Oh, I believe what you tell me.
And if you're not, you just make it up.
I read and I watch TV, and when people want to mess with me, I mess with them.
What do you watch on TV?
Well, currently nothing.
Well, yeah, because you're in the store right now. But like, if you were home, what would you watch on TV?
I enjoy the Hallmark Channel.
The Hallmark Channel.
It's nice and sweet and predictable.
Okay. With that, everybody, I want everybody to have a wonderful day, and I want you to enjoy your Monday, Easter Monday. Like, I never even knew it. They called it Easter Monday. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Apparently now it is Easter Monday and Easter Sunday. We might as well just go right through the whole week with the Easter Tuesday and Wednesday. I think I'd do that. That would be a good idea. Everybody, we're going to do our podcast again tomorrow without Virginia. And
Let's take a poll. Do I come on again tomorrow?
no, the poll is actually she does not come on tomorrow. And you were supposed to make it interesting.
Well, I didn't. What am I supposed to do?
Okay, so I walked into the store, right? And she said to me, "Are we doing a podcast? Are we doing a podcast?"
Wait a minute.
So I said, "Okay, you know what? I might as well just try to do the podcast. I'll bring up the stuff that I had because I was just going to refresh this again on my own." And so I figured, all right, let me be nice. I'll bring her on the podcast. She comes on the podcast, and she doesn't know shit. So, I mean, I don't get it.
I collect Hot Wheels.
You what?
I collect Hot Wheels.
And that does what for me? I mean, what are you collecting out with? Why don't you collect crystals from the psychic?
I do. I have a lot of crystals.
Yeah, where are they? You can't find them.
But you can't put them in the sun.
Where's the
otherwise
blue kyanite?
It's pink.
Where
Wait,
is it?
I do have blue.
Yeah, where is it?
The pink.
It was a big one. It was about that big.
Yeah.
Where is it?
I think it's in the shed.
You said that, and you couldn't get the shed open for 6 months.
I lost the key again. It's a Spider-Man key. So if you see a Spider-Man key floating around, that's mine.
I'm not going to see. Number one, I don't go to Hope Sound. Number two, I will not see a Spider-Man.
Why don't you go to Hope Sound? Hobie Sound.
It's not called Hobie Sound.
It's after the Hobie Indians.
Right, but it's not called Hobie Sound
Why not?
because it's called Hope Sound.
It should be called Hobie.
You all have a great day now. Enjoy yourself, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.